Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports Express Highlight Weekend Wrap-Up Show. We've got Rob Bennett.
Hello.
We've got Dan O'Hara. We're pretty busy this week. A lot of sports this weekend, a lot of playoffs to go in and unpack, weren't there?
Auburn Indian champs.
Auburn Indian champs?
Moving on.
Where are they headed?
I guess they're going to states. I guess that's the rumor on the street.
Yeah. Well, congrats to them. Marcellus hang on in their game. Skinny Atlas wasn't quite so fortunate, and Auburn's playoffs start this week, right?
They do.
Marcellus girls, big soccer win. Marcellus boys took it on the chin to Skinny Atlas in an unbelievably entertaining soccer game.
Very tight match. Yeah. Early goal, great goal. We'll get into that a little bit later as well. And some other things going on. Volleyball is getting into their playoffs. So sports are really heating up, aren't they?
Picking up.
From Pop Warner to the Dome. From 5Ks to marathons. From Little League to work leagues. Focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York.
Do it to it. Go and do it.
Let's start it off, man. You want to do a little Mighty Mite action?
Let's do a little Mighty Mite action. Coach Eddie Ash and his Pop Warner Auburn Indians getting things going. Came in toting the American flags. Some great pictures there. First play of the game kind of is what you saw throughout. The quarterback, number 33, Amir, is that what his name is, Dan?
I believe so.
Yeah. Takes the ball, runs for 5, and he was hard to stop all day long, right up the gut. I apologize, but the roster that I was provided just didn't have a lot of these guys' numbers on it. Here's a big run right up the gut, getting down close to the end zone, number 95. Auburn did go ahead and score there while I was getting yelled at from people by Pop Warner telling me that I did not belong. But then the defense comes in. Big sack by number 32. Eddie Ash got his boys ready
Sky
to
Muldrow.
play. Who's that?
32, Sky Muldrow.
Very good. Sky Muldrow. And they want to test the other side, trying to run away from Sky, but not so fast. Number 33, Amir comes in and makes a big tackle here. Getting coached up on the sidelines. Great job by Eddie Ash and the rest of his crew. Here's Amir again, up the middle, close into the end zone. Not quite, but they end up punching in there a few plays later. And that was really the crux of what you saw the entire game. Auburn was up 18-0 at the half and ended up shutting out Central Square. Oh, that's a great move right there.
Sky
and
Muldrow.
into the end zone. Sky Muldrow.
Sky Muldrow.
Muldrow moves.
18-0 at the half. End up winning 25-0. So, Dan, you know a lot of those kids?
No.
Okay.
He knows that one, though.
You know Sky. Again, coming right into your living room, puts on the brakes, steps out of bounds, says, "You're not hitting me on this one." And then the Auburn Indians, cheerleaders, do their halftime cheer, welcoming the fans.
A little tumble.
They held it together. Great job. So another thing we have to say, the Mighty Mite football team are not just the champs, but the cheerleaders. The Auburn Indians Mighty Mite cheerleaders also won a cheerleading competition last week at SRC. So Auburn Indians winning all kinds of championships.
Everybody's moving on.
Pretty good week for them.
Keep it coming.
Pretty good week for them.
Yeah, so you don't know all the details. Eddie told you that they're moving on, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, I don't know the details. Don't know how that's going to all play out, but they're moving on.
All right, tune in to the Sports Express Network, sxpnetwork.com, Backyard Sports Network, bysnetwork.com, and we'll fill you in with all that information.
Rumor has it that we might get some interviews with these kids.
Rumor does have it.
I think that we need to make that happen.
Make it happen, Bennett.
All right, we will work on that. So, good things going on with the Mighty Mites. What about the rest of Auburn football?
Well, I had a chance to go check out some Auburn Modified. Been telling those kids that I, got to go see them, and I'm glad I did. They got some athletes on the Modified. team. It's nice to see what's coming up.
Absolutely.
You know, we covered some JV, and Modified was next, and they got some kids that can play ball, and they got some big boys
Yeah.
on that team.
I know
So,
last year's team was undefeated. How did this year's team do?
they keep scoring Modified.
I believe that they
Somebody
do.
does,
I
at
don't
least.
I don't know. But anyway, we'll take a look here. Hey, here's number 12, Don Bean. He's highlighted, does a good job, scrapes across the line of scrimmage, goes up, makes a tackle. This is all defense. Number 24, Robert Williams, right place, right time. Doesn't come up with the pick, but that's just reaction on him. He's a quick kid. Number 51 here, Connor Prentice, double team, splits it, gets upfield, makes a tackle. Great play there. Big guy here. This kid's pretty big for his age. Number 1, Isaiah Council, playing a little DN. Does a good job getting away from the block, gets upfield, makes that play. Good play by him. Number 55, he's a big kid, Carter Sawyer. He gets upfield. He just pushes people out of his way, makes a tackle. You got number 72, Dominic London here, splits a double team. Good play by him. Just reaches out, grabs the kid, makes a great play at the line of scrimmage. Number 37, Robert Joyner is taken on the edge. He does what a good DN does, forces it back inside. Number 85 comes across, makes the tackle. But check out where number 85, Nevin Livingston, came from. He played middle linebacker. He reads it up the middle. We'll slow this down for your enjoyment. Sees it, fills the run gap like he's supposed to, and then he just appears out of nowhere, comes in, makes the tackle there. So, number 22, Philip Peterson, big hit here, incomplete pass. These boys can hit. Here's that Nevin Livingston again. Good play by him. He just tracks it down the entire line of scrimmage, makes a great play from behind. Unfortunately, they did get in the end zone, but I just wanted to show you the athleticism by him. Ramel Taylor, Jacob Nirvana in on this play. There's a lot of hitting going on in this game. This kid, number 78, Tyrone Pemberton, he's big. He's a big boy. He splits a double team, works his way upfield, takes him down. And then number 19, Joey Cesario. You got to love this. He's on the left side of the screen, drops back in coverage, just does what he's supposed to do. There's the ball. He gets the pick. And I love this at the end of it. Everybody's excited. Watch the coach out here. He's giving the kid a little love, tap on the helmet. Everybody's excited. So defensive side of the ball, they got some guys that can hit. Another kid out there, Scotty Belcom, he can hit. He's pretty good. But let's take a look at the offensive side of the ball. All right, looking at the offensive side of the ball, here's number 37, Robert Joyner. He's gone. I had a talk with Robert, got to learn some ball security, runs a little, standing up a little tall, but hey, that kid can run.
Got into the end zone.
PAT at fullback, here he is again. Right in there for the PAT. Love this, kind of confused me. This is a double reverse to Philip Peterson. Kind of goes left, goes right. Peterson's got it. Isaiah Council, the quarterback, big block, don't leave your feet. Here's Robert Joyner here, another big block, and sends Peterson down the sideline. Speaking of Peterson, here's Isaiah Council. He throws a good quick ball to the outside. Little quick pass. Makes moves, gets upfield, does a nice job. Joey Cesario at quarterback here. He hands off to Jaden Baker. Jaden Baker, he's running tough. Dragging people, Davari Agee style. Here's a reverse to Dom Mahoney. Uh-oh, he could go. I love it. He goes right in between the two defenders. Like this guy too, number 4, Aaron Bovey. He's a tough runner.
Some big kids on that offensive line.
Yeah, they got a kid here, number 24, Robert Williams. You know, he didn't have any, big yards, but he's got something that is fun to watch. He's got that lateral movement that's just crazy. And you'll see a couple plays by him where he just makes people miss, and he's got a good vision down the field. And he's what you call twitchy. I guess that would be the perfect word for it. Very agile here. He gets pitch outside, reads the block instantaneously, doesn't lose any speed getting upfield. Another good run by him. This was probably my favorite run by him. Just shows his lateral movement. Whoop. making a couple guys miss. I mean, he's averaging 5-6 yards a carry. But we end the night with Lee Joyner. Here he is again up the middle. Hang on to that ball, son. He gets in the end zone, and hey, we're going to go for the point after. Let's give it to Mr. Joyner again.
Big day.
Yep, boom, banging his way in the end zone. So modified football, things are looking good. I like it. Some kids can play, and they can hit. There was some hitting going on there. So, yeah, they took care of that.
Looks like the varsity program has some good stuff to look forward to.
It's neat when you know some of these kids. I had Lee Joyner, coached him a little bit, and Pop Warner program. You see like the Joey Cesarios, the Carter Sawyers, and these kids moving up and playing really good football. Isaiah Council. I mean, here's a kid. His dad's 6'5", 6'6". If he gets some of them, he's already got like size 15, 16 shoes or whatever. So,
wow.
Follow them up through the program. It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely. Great stuff. What do you want to go to next?
I guess I'm
going to tell you what we're going to go to next. The
Auburn?
biggest story of the entire weekend. Nick Wamp, wide receiver from Skinny Alice, breaks the New York State all-time receiving yards record, and we don't lead with that? What the heck is going on with this program?
Listen, you gave me the nod to start, so I started.
Holy
Auburn
cow.
Modified, love you.
Nick Wamp, 185 catches for 3,454 yards in his high school career.
That's a few.
Breaks the receiving record mark by Christian Brothers Academy star Bruce Williams several years ago. Bruce Williams? Yeah, pretty good player in and of himself. But thing about Nick Wamp, he started since his freshman year, put up huge numbers since his freshman year. Very unassuming kid, very, very respectful, always doing the right things. Was a heck of a captain for the Lakers this year with a very, very young team. Did what he could to hold them together. But, he led the right way, not complaining, not necessarily worrying about himself and his numbers. But, again, Nick Wamp breaks the all-time New York State record for receiving yards.
Congratulations, Nick
Absolutely.
Wamp. Where's he going to college?
Going to
Colgate University.
Yep, Colgate
Matt
University.
Spack, he's an alum of Colgate, went on to the NFL. So, hey, see what happens.
Well, there's a little bit of similarities between Nick and Matt Spack, both outstanding lacrosse players as well. I'm guessing Nick may be able to play lacrosse at Colgate as well, but I don't think they do that kind of stuff anymore. They didn't do it when Matt was there either. But
well, Matt's a little different character. Yeah. He's got a little mental issue. He's a little crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a guy that went to Colgate, went on to play in the NFL, got injured, got out of the NFL, decided I'll go do MMA. Beats the amateur champ up in like 42 seconds. And
I love Matt Spack.
Yeah.
But this isn't Matt Spack's time. This is Nick Wamp's time. Congratulations, Nick. And, we might as well go into those highlights now. Skinny Alice took it on a chin to a very, very tough Lowville football team. Quarterback Chad Bach. I cannot say enough about that kid. Absolutely tough as nails. Final score was 58-28. Skinny Alice got down pretty big early, but was in the halftime speech by Joe Sindoni and just saying, hey, I don't care what the score is. I want to see you guys continue to fight. This is a program we're building toward the future, and let's see what we can do in the second half. They did. They went out and outscored Lowville in the second half. Lowville keeping their starters in for the vast majority of that point in time. But kept on coming, and bright future ahead for Skinny Alice. We've talked about some of their younger players going forward. But here we go. There's number 12, Chad Bach, right in your face. This is the first play from scrimmage, and just shows you what Skinny Alice is going to see the entire rest of the day. Lots of green in front of him. Cody Nesbitt making a great tackle there to save the touchdown on play 1. But on play 2, not so lucky. Very similar looking play. Cody can't get there. Kenny Byrne, number 80, can't get there. Chad Bach off to the races. But Skinny Alice would come right back. Sophomore quarterback James Musso. There he is, your all-time receiving yard New York State champ, Nick Wamp. Big gain there on Skinny Alice's first possession. And the Lakers keep coming at you. Nick Wamp, another fantastic catch there. And again, you saw a lot of that throughout the game as well. Freshman running back Grayson Brunel got very, very shifty feet. We talked about this last week. He's going to be a good one. Again, freshman quarterback, sophomore running back. Lakers are going to be good, folks. Rolling out to the right. Passes back to Colin Cox, junior wide receiver, and Skinny Atlas right back into it. Missed the extra point, however, which was a pretty big deal. Nick Wamp missed the extra point, and so the Lakers were unable to tie it up. Unfortunately, Louville gets the ball. Bam. Couple plays. That is number 31. We've got his name someplace. Isaac Lindeker was on that play, and then Bach just too much for the Lakers on this day. But as I told you, they kept fighting.
That's a nice ball.
Another fantastic catch by Nick Wamp there. But Chad Bach, you saw his legs, got a pretty touch as well. There's an extra point there after their latest touchdown. Points coming fast and furious. Grayson Burnell says we're not done yet. Big run to the outside, gain of 14, 15. But did we mention this Bach guy?
You did.
Once or twice. Wide open on that one.
Yeah, Bach to Colton Friesdorf there. Kid can run it. Kid can throw it. Very, very good player.
A little trickery right there.
Daddlesel. Shuffle pass into, takes a big hit at the end. Kind of gets stalked a little bit at the end there, but that's okay. Gray hops right back up.
Wow.
You can tell, show all these highlights just to show everyone. You know, Nick Wamp been doing that for 4 years, just coming up with balls that he has no business catching. Lakers keep coming. Very similar to that last play. Grayson Burnell close to the end zone. Doesn't get in there, but punches it in on the very next play. There it is. That's Nick Wamp's last receiving touchdown of his career. And that's a good way to end it. His brother Max made a fantastic catch later in that game, so big things to come from him. He'll be a senior next year, kind of stepping into Nick's shoes a little bit. Cody Nesbitt, some younger people coming in as well. Freshman Pat Hare is going to do big things as a sophomore next year. But we've got to worry about these linemen.
Now, is Pat Hare related to Connor Hare?
It's Connor's little brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sure James Miso does not want to hear this, and he doesn't want to hear it, especially right after the game. But it's important, I feel like, for a young guy like him, especially in his first starting season, to get smacked around on that stage. You know, he's still got 2 more years to go to develop, and now he knows exactly what it's like to play a team the caliber of Louville. So I think going forward, at least, it hurts now, but it's got to be good for him.
Yeah, I've coached James since he was in 2nd grade, and that kid's just got a fire and a passion and is an unbelievable competitor. Did take it on the chin in that one, had 2 touchdown passes, but 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 in the second half. I think that was in the first half, but you are absolutely right. This is a great learning experience. You know, there's so many similarities between this Laker team and Pat Hackler's sophomore year. With a lot of young guys went in first round of the playoffs and took it on the chin to Casanova that year. You know, so Sindoni talks a lot about that, and you know, you gotta take these difficult times to get strong and you know, see if you've got what it takes to come back and fight next year. But those kids lost on Friday night pretty badly, but following day there were 25, 26 kids there for stretching and for weightlifting on Saturday, and
Train keeps rolling.
yeah, there were more than that in the weight room today when I was over on my way here tonight. So Skinny Alice looking to keep rolling. We'll try to get Nick Wamp in studio and talk to him about his illustrious career, but I just cannot say enough about that kid and you know, what he's done for the entire Skinny Atlas football program, and you know, we all owe him a lot. So these kids now have a lot to live up to because of the example that Nick Wamp has shown over the last couple of years. So we shall see whether they can do it or not.
Well, congratulations again to Nick Wamp.
Congratulations, Nick.
Number 1, huh?
Number
Pretty
one.
special.
Deal.
Pretty special.
Yeah.
Moving on to Marcellus. They had a great game with CVA, Central Valley Academy, coming in. The 4-5 matchup in the Class B Section 3 quarterfinals. It was close the whole way. And here you see we'll start after trading punts. The Thunder fumble the ball. They'll pick up, the Mustangs pick it up, and that will start the rushing attack for Marcellus. Here is Will Von McKee, one of his many big runs. That's 24 yards inside the red zone there. And later on the drive, Kermis does his job. That's Nick Kermis. He's been doing this all year. Punches it in from 3 yards out. Now here, this will be later in the first. And you see Kermis again just showing, you saw him run up the middle. Now you got him running up the outside. Takes it out up the left side. Big gain there. And then here, same drive. Basically the same play as he scored his first touchdown on. 3 yards out. 14-0 Marcellus after the Liam Stewart extra point. Now here we'll see some more D from Marcellus. And Kyle Brown is a guy who has just been killing it. That quarterback didn't want anything. He saw Kyle Brown coming and he just went to the ground. No roughing the passer there. Now here we go. Nick Kermis again. He fumbles this time. This time there's a bit of a momentum shifter for the Thunder as they would get the ball in Marcellus territory. And Michael Durberg, he finds Cole Brewer over the middle. He sprints the rest of the way. 33-yard touchdown. 14-7 now for Marcellus. This is the ensuing kickoff. Ryder Donahue starts the drive off well. He has a solid return here. Makes one guy miss there. And he just tries to get around the outside. Brings it all the way out to just about the 40.
Good
And
job, Ryder.
that would set up a good opportunity right near the end of the half. But Sean Tierney had trouble finding running room. Stuffed there. And Liam Stewart knocks it through. 17-7 here going into the half. Marcellus would not score again. So this will be one of the few big plays their offense has in the second half. That's Nick Kermis again. He takes the bubble screen and he just goes way up the field. But after a pretty uneventful third quarter, we've got an interesting fourth. This one is Dante Howard going full Nick Womp on the Marcellus defender, going up and just snagging the ball. That, followed by an extra point, would make it 17-14. Now here we go. Another big play from Nick Kermis. He's looking to ice the game. Looks like he's going to set it up pretty well. But that Howard guy is a problem. Here's Sean Tierney. Kind of tosses up a lollipop, and Howard just picks it off. And he will have a decent return. So now we have 1:40 left. No timeouts for CVA. They've got to move quite the ways. And here's just one of the 4 incompletions from Durberg on that drive. Marcellus defense stands tall. And Sean Tierney, here you see him kneeling it out. 17-14 win for the Mustangs. They're going to play Oneida coming up next week. And they have a little bit of recent history with Oneida. Last year, Oneida, the Indians came into Marcellus's house, knocked him out in the first round of the playoffs. So we'll see if the Nick Patterson and company can go in and return the favor this year.
Get some revenge.
Absolutely.
So I love that you had that highlight from Kyle Brown. He's had an unbelievable season on offense and defense. He reached out to us as well, asked for some highlights from all of his games. So let's make sure that we do that. And you know what the nicest thing was? He said, "Thank you for supporting me."
Well, I'm glad he likes it. I'm glad he appreciates it. That's why we do it.
That is what it is all about. So yeah, Mustangs look to keep it rolling next week. Where's that game going to be?
At Oneida. Oneida is undefeated. They're the 1 seed.
It's not going to be at Oneida though. I don't think.
I'm not sure then.
Neutral field.
Yeah,
maybe neutral field. Maybe Jamesville DeWitt or something.
Okay.
We can get you guys that information. But definitely not at Marcellus High School. I'll tell you that much.
Definitely not. So speaking of Marcellus, we'll turn over to the soccer side of things. 2 second-round sectional games last week at Marcellus. The girls played at 5 o'clock. The boys played at 7 o'clock. And we'll go to the boys' game a little bit because all the fireworks happened in the first couple minutes of the game.
Well, here you go. So we'll see. Skinny Atlas is trying to advance the ball, and a clearance actually hits Tyler Moss. That's Brody Shanahan, and that means the Lakers get the ball in a dangerous position, and say no more for Tyler Moss. What a ball into the middle. Strong header by Owen Cheney.
Bad header by Owen Cheney also.
But that ball was with pace. That ball was right where it needed to be. Credits to Cheney. He got into the right spot, and it's not easy to do what he did with it. But Tyler Moss made a lot of that play happen.
Yeah, 36:49 left in the first half, and that was your first and only goal.
That was the scoring.
A lot of action back and forth. Andrew Newman had some fantastic saves for Skinny Atlas.
He did. Definitely kept them in the game. Marcellus was on the front foot most of the time. Had a lot more possession. It was interesting. We were watching the game, and it seemed like Skinny Atlas, especially after they took the lead, was pretty content to just sort of boot the ball all the way down the other end of the field, which theoretically should have played into Marcellus's hands, as they like to possess it, but it didn't this time.
Yeah, Marcellus playing more of a control type game. I'm not sure that was real strategy just because they were up 1-0 for Skinny Atlas. I watched several of their games, and that seems to be what they do. They've got some talented defensemen, Gavin Cheney, Alex Arefiev, and Tyler's older brother.
Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew Moss, but that seems to be kind of a strategy for Skinny Atlas. Just boot it up and let Tyler and Owen Cheney go run it down and try to make the magic happen.
When you got a kid like Tyler Moss, kicking the ball as close to him is probably a good idea. So they will play. Skinny Atlas is going to take on
Clinton. Number 5 New York State ranked Clinton. They're going to play Wednesday night at Fayetteville Manlius. I think 6:30 p.m.
in the section quarters.
Section semis.
Section semis. So the girls also were successful on that Saturday. They played Vernon Verona Sherrill, another low-scoring game, very similar to their first round matchup as well. They sort of dominated in both those games. In the first round, the girls took it all the way to the second overtime before a Mexico own goal actually sealed the Tigers' fate. But this one, penalty kick, Sarah Hutchings buried it, and they're moving on.
All right, going to face West Hill. Big
matchup.
Yet another West Hill Marcellus soccer playoff matchup.
Absolutely.
So should be a lot of fun. That is it on the soccer front. Those are the only local teams advancing farther.
We had a conversation about what Auburn was going to face with Carthage. Was able to watch some of their film, and you watch this Fambo Azai, and he's pretty impressive. He's not like Mike Hart impressive what he does. He's got a different style of running. He's kind of a zone runner. Having Greg Tobias on our semi-pro team, running back at Syracuse, he's a zone runner. He lives off of flow blocking, finding cutbacks, and that's kind of what Fambo Azai does. He's very fast in reading it, and he reacts to it very quickly. And one of the things that I said was if Auburn doesn't stay disciplined on defense, they're going to have a hard time containing them, and that's exactly what happened. Auburn is such a fast defense; they floated the ball very fast, and he'll take you flowing to the ball and cut off of that when you go inside, and we'll show it here. If you're coaching path to fullback really doesn't matter. So if a linebacker sees fullback lead, he's playing path to fullback, you can't do it because he's going to break off the fullback and find that opening. So we'll take a look at Fambo here. This is his first touchdown of the game. It's hard to see, but he's in the backfield. He's got pretty big thighs. He goes up the middle and just does a sidestep and takes it in the end zone. And here's a little more of what he does. You'll see Owen Spearing here does a great job of flowing to the fullback, but then again, nobody's back to cover that run gap, and Fambo just makes a cut, and he's gone. And again, he's has very good vision, very fast. Connor Mahunick gets sucked inside. He bounces it outside of Connor. Another touchdown there. So he goes against, takes away what you give him. Here's a good example of it. Here's Connor Mahunick. He does what he's supposed to do, takes the step outside, and then he reads inside run to Fambo, goes inside, and there you are. James Grime does a good job filling his run gap. A little holding there on Spearing, but Connor goes inside, and Fambo sees it, and he gets outside, and he's gone. And that's what he does. He's got very good vision. He's very quick with his feet laterally, and once you show motion and slide to that motion, he kicks it outside. It's like it's really like watching Greg Tobias run the football, and that's what Greg's so good at. I mean, you can put a fullback in and lead with a fullback, but probably 10 times out of 10 he's not following that fullback, and he's gonna cut it away. So
Moral of the story: stay home.
So what did Carthage give Auburn on defense? Well, this is another thing that we talked about. Hey, there's Tommy Coomer took over for the beloved Clarence for doing the equipment. But look at this. Carthage puts 8 men in the box. They know that Shaheed Beal's their guy. This is a good play. They should run more of this if they face Carthage again. It's a little quick crossing route. When you got eight man in the box, you've got man-to-man coverage, and you run a crossing route. Now you got a trail technique by a corner. Here's eight men in the box again. I consider that safety in the box. He's 7 yards off the ball, and he's got nowhere to go. They're doubling the outside, almost kind of looks like that 3-3-5 style. Here's one he does rip off. There's Shaheed Beal. That's a good run by him. Thought I was going to get killed on this play, but he got one there. Did a nice job. And then Troy did a nice job here on the option. Staled the 2 guys on the outside and went in the end zone to get a score. There it is again. 8 men in the box. Everybody's creeping. And here's what Davari Agee can do. He's a big, strong, physical kid. And he gets 5-6 yards on that carry, carrying 2-3 guys. Love this kid. This kid we showcased last week, Jeremiah Phillips. He just runs in there, rips the ball out of the ball carrier's hands, and he gets down the sideline. Oh, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Can't get caught by the quarterback.
I think that's a quarterback, but good play by him. But, moving forward, you got to stay disciplined. If you you play Indian River, they got a pretty decent run game as well. So, I feel bad for them kids. Love them kids. They play hard, and everybody. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yep.
And I always tell new coaches when they come in, everybody knows more about football than you do. I'm not in their practice facility. I don't go to practice. I don't listen to the meetings. So the game plan, whatever that was, you just you gotta make plays, stay disciplined. But they're still moving on. So they play Indian River at General Brown.
At General Brown.
So got to get by Indian River, and if they get by Indian River, it looks like they're going to play Carthage again. So if Carthage takes care of business,
The bad news is Auburn has 2 losses on the season. The good news is that they have a chance at
they're
getting
still
right
in
back
it.
at those 2
Absolutely.
teams. So.
Take the game film, learn from it, understand how he runs. I mean, it's not very often you find a guy that can zone run like that and flow run like that. Having Greg Tobias on the team and having him explain to me, what he wants. He just wants flow so he can make his cutback. And they don't really flow per se. He just finds that cutback lane. And their O-line is pretty solid. You saw that one holding. There was a lot of holding going on in that game.
It's not holding if they don't call it.
Right, but I had like 7-8 clips where they literally had jerseys, and you don't see it when the game's going on because everything's so fast. But you go over the film and you're like, how did the guy miss that one? It was everywhere. But shout out to Harrison Scott, number 72, the center for Carthage. I talked to Leon Eldridge, and he said that kid's out on the football field every day working on his center spot, and it showed it. He's a pretty tough kid, pretty strong kid. So,
but your guy Owen Spearing still ended up with 11 total tackles on the day. So
Owen Spearing, man, that kid can play. Yeah. He's just so fast to the football. I mean, they all are. Yeah. You got Connor Mahunik, you got Owen Spearing, you got Keishan Cooper, who was relatively quiet. He's so fast to the football that Fambo Azai reads it so quickly, he makes that decision in a split second. So
on the offensive side of things, Shaheed Beal, 8 rushes for 51 yards, 6.3 yards per carry. Devontae Agee, 5 rushes, 59 yards, 11.8 yards, and a touchdown. So there's some stuff there to build upon. So
absolutely,
let's go Maroons.
Yeah, let's take care of Indian River and get another shot at Carthage.
Good stuff, Coach.
It's got to be said. Surely Fambo Azai is the name of the episode. Like that's the
Fambo
name.
Azai.
That's the name that we're gonna have to just associate with this episode.
Yeah,
forever.
and I think he's so successful because he followed the 7 minutes abs routine. Right? Is that what makes the flow?
Definitely not the 8-minute ab routine.
No? Yeah? Okay. Okay.
Again, caught me off guard. What if somebody comes up with 6-minute abs?
All right. Well, our producer James is got an early day, so he's got to put this thing, wrap it up, and get it to bed. So
We got time for a couple other scores to run a couple other scores out there.
You have them?
Because I do have them. Solvay, they undefeated. Almost they were trailing to Casanova in the third quarter. They ended up pulling out that win. So Solvay moves on. Cato Meridian 14-7 over Mount Markham, and the aforementioned General Brown in their rematch with Canastota got thumped once again 42-6. So all those teams moving on.
Tell you what, I would love to go watch Loudville play Canastota next week as well. Obviously, I want to watch Marcellus. I want to watch Auburn.
I want to watch Cato.
I want to watch Cato, but
A lot of good games coming.
That is going to be a slugfest between Canastota and Loudville next weekend. So a lot of good football out there. Make sure you go see some. Support these local kids doing some great things.
Well, for Rob Bennett, Coach Dan O'Hara, I'm Tommy Friedenberg, and thanks for watching.
All right. See you next week.